Good evening, everybody. Sure. Good evening. It's really bittersweet to see a lot of you who I've not seen in a very long time. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the people who came from far away, from different countries, and from Samoa, New Zealand. People who've come from different states, Texas, Arizona, Nevada, Northern California, as well as the people here who live locally in Southern California, the state of Washington too, just all over. Even people who will be watching this later in some type of platform. I want to thank Pastor Brian. I was thinking about the day that it happened. Pastor Brian was at Nisha and Trent's house, and you were just there as a servant, supporting all of us, the family, and everybody who was coming over the house. That day I got to know you a lot better, and just appreciate your presence and everything you've done for our family and this church. Having this great service for my nephew, for my family, really appreciate it. Thank you. My name is Len Pereira. Benicia is my big sister. And I'm looking at you, sis. I'm looking at you, Trent. Like, the fact that you could sing at your son's funeral.
Yeah. So good.
I don't know where that kind of strength comes from.
Okay. It's all God.
It's gotta come from God.
Yeah.
I know I can do it.
Yeah.
Since this happened, I've been following your lead as my older siblings. And God has given you guys tremendous strength that I haven't really seen as we go forward and support one another together. I'm gonna not speak too long, but I shared something in the program about Christmas of just last year that I spent at the Foisia's house, and I was spending time with Fatty on a one-on-one, and I'll never forget what he said. It was something real simple. It was just me and him just spending time, and he said, "I got a lot of uncles, but you my Just like that, with his fist on his chest, on his heart. And I'll never forget that. Even before he passed, I would think about it all the time. And to me, in that moment, he validated me as somebody that was in his life, that he trusted and that he loved. Simple words, simple gesture, but just going back to work and going about my own life, it just, man, it was special. It was simple. It was between me and him. Special. This boy's like a son to me. I've been telling everybody who would listen that he is and he always will be. And I pray to God I'll have a son like this one day. And children like his siblings, like Christian, Beja, Coco, Judah, and Leonia. Pray for our family. We'll pray for you guys. Let's get through this weekend together. Because that's how he would want it. Amen?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Just thank you for this opportunity to be able to give a little word about Fatty in front of y'all. When Fatty was first born, I was only 8 years old when he was born. He was born in '99. Yeah, I was about 8. Between him and Christian, they were my nephews, but really, I was still like a kid too, So I was kind of caught somewhere between being their uncle, but also like their older brother. And you know, just like anything else that you do for the first time, you make your mistakes, you know? But I had always looked to, you know, my older brothers as an example, my uncles as an example of, you know, how to be an exemplary figure for them. I had always tried to, you know, just be a person that Fatty could always come to, you know, talk to. You know, I wouldn't really sweat him or nothing like that, you know. Just try to speak life into him whenever I could. As I was cleaning out my room, ready to come back here for this funeral, I had stumbled upon an old birthday card that Nisha and Trin and the kids had sent to me. And you know, I always kept these birthday cards because they helped me get through, you know, times of being out there in Samoa. Sometimes you just want to come back, you know, and you're like, forget all this. This isn't actually where I'm from. Really, I'm actually from here, you know. But I would read these cards sometimes, and it would give me the motivation and strength that I needed to keep on going. And I just wanted to read to you guys what Fatty had wrote to me. This is from 2016. He said, "Happy birthday, Uncle Cal. Thank you for always being like an older brother to me. I know I can always come to you about anything. Always fun when you stay with us. Hope you come visit again sometime soon. Have a blessed birthday. Love, Fatty." You know, reading that a couple weeks ago, I was proud to be his uncle. I was glad that I had become that person that I always wanted to be to him. The big brother that he can always come and talk to, but the uncle that could give him wisdom and knowledge. The last time that me and Fatty had seen each other, and the last real conversation that I remember having with him was the night of his graduation. We had been walking over to Tone's house just to, you know, go say hi to everybody. It was me, him, and Del Rey. And I remember both of them asking me, you know, they were like, "Man, what's it like in Samoa? I can't believe you're still there, you know?" And, you know, the one thing that I always tell them, and the one thing that I tell a lot of y'all when y'all ask me, is you gotta make your way out there one time. And he was like, "Yeah, Uncle, you know, I'm gonna do it, yeah." And you know, you hear that all the time. You always say, "Oh yeah, I'm coming, I'm gonna come visit you." And you know, you kind of don't really take it too serious. But when I had heard that Daddy and Anisha were actually gonna be coming in October of this year, I was really excited for him, you know. I was really excited for all the things that he was gonna see and the kind of growth that he would experience. I really do advocate that kind of traveling because it kind of shows you that this world is a lot bigger than your block, than your neighborhood, than your city, than your county, than your state. You know, there's a huge, huge world out there. And I really do advise a lot of you that are young, man, go travel, you know, go see some things and realize stuff like that, you know. The last thing that I want to leave you guys with, when my sister called me the night that it happened, you know, between obviously, you know, the crying and just the chaos and the craziness, the one thing that had resonated with me, you know, the most was that through all of that, she was still able to sing of the promises of God. You know, like Lennon said, I don't know where that kind of strength comes from. And I know that it must come from the Lord. So since that time, I had opened up the book of Exodus because Well, because it's his name, right? And I just wanted to read a quick verse to y'all. This is coming from the book of Exodus, chapter 19. It says, "Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession." And I just want to encourage y'all, just like we had heard before from so many others, Fatty loved the Lord and he tried to walk with the Lord the best that he could. So I just encourage y'all, the youth, especially, try to follow that example and follow those footsteps. Because we're mourning over him now, but he really is dancing on streets paved with gold. And I don't know about y'all, but I want to be up there dancing with him one day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's our turn. Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for gathering with our family tonight to celebrate the life of Exodus, our nephew, our son, grandson, our friend. It's just a beautiful thing to see everyone's faces, people we haven't seen in a long time, and yeah, it's just been an outpouring of love, and even just all the preparation leading up to this point. I sent out a text to some of my siblings this morning that have been just working hard. We've been working so hard on this, and we're just getting to the starting line, and of the events that we had planned for Exodus. And man, I'm not much of a speaker. I'm more of a visual arts person. So, Exodus is a creative person, and his style and everything that he was about, and his unique way that he carried himself. I always admired that about him. He found his own lane and drove it hard. And I really like that about him. It takes a brave person to do that. To do things that other people ain't doing. To have your own voice and to be able to speak it and stay true to it. There's a lot of families here that I've designed funeral programs for, and that process, it's a labor of love, and it's something that I like to share just because it's especially when I know the person, it's a very intimate thing to do, especially when I'm working at home by myself, late at night, just driving through it, looking through all the photos and reading the stories, and man, it gets really emotional, but you have this intimate relationship with this person, and it's just growing stronger. It's like you're having conversations with them late at night. And so with Exodus, we all came up with a plan, like, hey, what are we gonna do with the program? And came up with the idea, let's do a fashion magazine, And I was like, a magazine? Man, I ain't never designed no magazine, but that sounds like something we could do. That would be awesome to honor him in this way, And I set up my workstation at Nisha and Trent's house, and man, we just drove through it. Day and night, night and day, just getting everyone's input. And like I said, normally I work on it by myself at home. And in this, for him, I don't think I could have done that. Not for my boy. It would have been too hard. So I'm glad that I did it at my sister's house, Nisha and Trent's house, and I had all of our family around me. Just giving me their mana, their spirit, the prayers that we had, the scriptures that we read, and just feeling that love and that energy. And it's all going to Fatty and trying to showcase him in the best light possible. And it's just such an honor to do that for my boy. And so, Fatty, I mean, man, there's so many stories and so many things I wanted to say, but Fatty, we love you, and we love all of you for being here tonight. Our son Leone, this is my wife Sue. My son Leone, he's like a little Fatty, you know. He's got his own style, he's got his own thing going on, and I love it. And a lot of the photos that I see with Fatty and him, he's always holding him, you know. And just a quick thing, I was looking at our trip that we took along the East Coast and went to New York. Me and my sister kind of got into a little thing about the baby stroller because we lost it. And it was a nice baby stroller, and I didn't want to get the cheap one from Target because then it's too low, and I'm tall, and it's like I don't want to push that little one up the streets of New York, you know. So I was like, we're gonna find one that looks good, but I couldn't find one. But in the meantime, all the kids were holding Leone for the whole trip, and they were taking turns, you know. And yeah, well, we made up for that, but yeah, Fatty loved Leone, and every time I look at Leone, I'm gonna think of Fatty.
Hi everyone, I'm Sue. I'm Exodus's auntie. I met him when he was probably a little bit younger than Leone. Here I was, the short little Asian girl, him looking at me like, who are you? You're almost my height. You know, when I met the family, all the kids and stuff, and even my family, the one thing that always resonated with us is how amazingly respectful and honorable the kids are. Whenever my parents came over or they were at our house or something, the kids would never hesitate to stand up, ask them if they needed something. You know, when my parents heard that Exodus passed away, they were pretty devastated as well, because they saw that Exodus, all the kids, they had so much more to give. And you know, we just continue, like Jay said, you know, we see Leone and he reminds me of Exodus. So, you know, hopefully his spirit will live in all of us. Thank you.
I love you, Fatty. I miss you. See you soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Amen. God is good all the time. If you didn't get one of these magazines, make sure you get one. These are awesome, bro. You hooked it up, man. I happened to walk into the house while he was working deeply on these magazines, and this is dope, man. This is really dope. I was looking through some of the pictures, and whenever you dye your hair blonde, you got fashion, amen? You got fashion. And so I want to encourage you, if you didn't get one, before you leave, get one to continue the celebration. What a way to honor him. At this time, I want to call up to the platform